good, YouTube? Teddy back in action here. Second video of the night. Talking a little bit about it in my previous video here that I was feeling a bit inspired. So just want to crank out a couple videos, get more used to the YouTube platform, put myself out there, all that. So yeah, the topic of this video is going to be my experience dropping out of college, how I see higher education. Is it worth it? You know, obviously. Some people may be in a predicament when it comes to higher education, schooling, all that. So, like I said, 23 years old here, been in the workforce for a bit. You know, I feel like I've been there, done that a bit. Have been through layoffs, good jobs, bad jobs, that whole thing. So I'm just gonna give my perspective here, and yeah, take it with what you want, with what I say here. You know, obviously you make your decision at the end of the day, but this is just my experience. So keep in mind, all my working experience is in sales. So you know, it's one of the industries where you don't necessarily need a college degree to per se make it, I guess you could say, as opposed to accounting, human resources, whatever, right? We all know those jobs where you need the degrees and you need that bachelor's to make it. So yeah, I dropped out of college around, was it 2 years ago? No, let's see. Yeah, it's around 2 years ago now. I was pursuing a business degree and then started changing my degree every semester. Just didn't know what I wanted, and eventually junior year, just dipped out after my parents cut me off. So yeah, but obviously, if you're going to school to become a lawyer, doctor, STEM degree, anything like that, I think college is a great route. You know, I'm not going to say you shouldn't go if you want to become a doctor at the end of the day, right? There's really no other ways you can get there without that degree. You know, if you want to be an engineer, you know, a lot of people I know are taking that route. Absolutely, totally respect that. You know, that's definitely something to pursue college for. You know, when it comes to math in the STEM degrees, I'm not super familiar with that. You know, a lot of people will say, oh, I'm a mathematician, I've had trouble getting jobs and all that. I don't know a lot. You know, at the end of my tenure, I was just trying to finish a communication degree, but I overfilled myself with my sales job in IT and school full time, so I kind of had to cut that down a bit. So don't know a ton about the math, and then was it science? Same kind of thing with math. I've heard a lot of differing opinions there. But it's engineering, technology. Totally recommend you go to college for it. I mean, you know, I guess if you're a programmer, if you're self-taught, if that's kind of the route you want to go, even just maybe an associate's or whatever, I don't think that's a bad idea either. I mean, I think kind of having my experience in technology, a lot of it is just what you know. You know, the material that comes inside your head. I don't think any of it was based around degrees, your schooling, things like that. At least my experience. I mean, it certainly can't hurt to have that degree. You know, bless that path as well. But you know, that's kind of what I experienced in technology sales throughout my tenure within that career. But yeah, so essentially, I dropped out around 2 years ago and living at home, parents' basement. Super depressed, right? You know, I'm sure a lot of people have been there. Maybe not. If you went right through and you did everything the right way, right? I mean, props to you. Sometimes I wish I took that path. But anyways, living in the parents' basement, really depressed, smoking weed, not working out, not taking care of myself. You know, just doing shit that wasn't productive, right? You know, and freaking working these warehouse jobs that weren't taking me anywhere, chasing pussy, just dumb shit, right? And then, essentially, after, I think, like, 1 month of, like, self-pity living in my parents' basement, I get a job at a warehouse, right? And it was alright, but, I mean, I feel like I'm a smart guy, you know? I felt like I wanted more, so I started to kind of look around, see what else is out there, and no, I got an interview for a technology sales job, and I got my foot in the door. You know, I just sold myself as a sales manager. I was blessed to earn that opportunity and got the job or whatever. But what is it? Take in mind, I had like a year of sales experience before I got that IT job. It was really just a, that sales job beforehand was like a minimum wage base though, just burn and churn, hire 30 people at a time. Like 2 people stay 6 months, they were good, So it's definitely a little bit grueling, but I had that on the resume. Then I got a little bit tired of that. Did a couple warehouse gigs in between that whole thing, and I was unfulfilled. Right, you're with people that who didn't have the same opportunities as you, who didn't necessarily know the language, and nothing wrong with that, Nothing wrong with that type of life. I know everybody comes from different backgrounds, different families, that whole thing. But I was looking around and I was just like, you know what? I'm not satisfied in this. I am not satisfied working in a warehouse. Because seriously, like some of the people you'll meet at these warehouse jobs, they freaking like make fun of the manager for like striving for more in life. One of the people that will always stick out to me throughout this journey I call life and just kind of my path I've taken was this 40-year-old dude. And he just worked like a bunch of minimum wage, crummy jobs and paid the bills, whatever, respectable. But I was having a conversation with him and he was like, I can't believe people aspire for management. I can't believe, he'd aspire to be a manager here. Like, screw that. Just do barely enough to get by and live life. And, yeah, it's all good. And I was just like, what was I? I was like 20 at the time, I think. I just kind of left along, whatever. Just working this bullshit warehouse job. All good. And then I also had a therapist or whatever. And, I'd meet with him weekly, I think for like 5 or 6 weeks only. Some things happened with the payment and my family and the therapist and insurance and all that, so I wasn't able to continue seeing him. But I was talking to the dude, and he was just like, how have you been, Teddy? And I'm just like, Mr. Therapist, I have something on my mind here. Why does this guy have this attitude of wanting nothing more than to work in this warehouse, barely make it, barely get by, and be happy with that life, make fun of the people who strive for more, right? And he was just like, I don't even recall exactly what he said, but he just gave me some mumbo jumbo about, oh, that's just the reality of things, Teddy. Not everybody's gonna strive for these big things or whatever, and there's nothing wrong with that. But that kind of woke me up a little bit to my decision dropping out of college, right? Because when that happens, when you make that decision and you look that person 20 years of future in your face and the guy's just like making fun of anything to better his life, way overweight, just like all that, it's just like I knew I wanted more. So I started just interviewing or whatever, like I said, get back to the IT sales job. And it took like a month or two, not gonna lie, it was a little bit of a hustle to find something. But I get the interview with the IT sales job and get my foot in the door. And man, they hired me, I'm super pumped, I'm screaming at the top of my lungs when I get the job offer. I'm like, damn, I made it. And that happens. And then, let's see. They did ask about when it relates to dropping out, they did ask, oh, are you in school? And I was technically still in college at the time. I was actually, I went back for a semester at a local university online, trying to finish a communication degree full-time, selling IT full-time. And, I started working there, whatever. And, man, how many reps there told me, like, yo, Teddy, not gonna be able to handle full-time school and full-time work, man. This job, it's a complete commitment, This is a career, bro. This is a career. If you stay here 3 years, you are set, Teddy. That is life. You are good. So I'm just like, okay, I still want to finish school, I'm trying all this thing, all this. And my video beforehand, I was talking about like the dab pens, sobriety, weed's impact on myself. And I wasn't making the best decisions still. I'm not gonna lie, I was a partier. I was vibing, enjoying life, coasting by potential, just being charismatic with people, right? And it's like 3 months down the line at the company. Like school is starting to end, the semester's coming to an end here, and I'm pounding like 60 cold calls a day, 2 hours of talk time, and it's just like, it's a grind, right? Before I get to this next point here, the key fact is actually I was thrown out by my parents like a month into this new job. You know, my mom just came to me one day and was like, Teddy, we do not appreciate you living here. You are not following our rules. It's hostile. It's not a good environment. I'm like, really? She's like, yeah, you got a week to move out. And you know what? I kind of deserved it. I kind of deserved that. That was the last step because, what was it? Let's see here. Yeah, I was smoking weed in the backyard of my family's house. And I was hitting the bull or whatever. And that's when my mom came outside. And we've all been there, right? I mean, if you were kind of someone like me, you weren't always the goody two shoes. The whoops, what was the conversation? It's like, are you high? Are you smoking weed at the house? And I just taken 3 hits out of the bowl like 2 minutes ago. So I'm super high, and it's just like there's no denying that. So this is pretty crazy. My mom, I got like an Allen Iverson jersey from a thrift store. My aunt got it for me from Daytona Beach, and she just grabs it. I was like, Teddy, I'm so tired of your behavior at home. What the hell are you doing disrespecting us? I'm like, I'm stoned as hell. I'm just not saying anything. She gets the Allen Iverson jersey and just throws it in the fire. I was next to like the fireplace or whatever is going, and it just burns. And then that's obviously like 5-10 minutes later after she cools down a bit, she gives an ultimatum. We got a week to move out. I'm just like, fuck. Okay, I guess life's pretty serious now, right? So that happens. And so I still have the job in IT sales, whatever. But my family's good to me though. They haven't been bad to me or whatever. I mean, I think that's part of growing up. I thrust myself in the world. Big Elliot Hulse fan. Anybody follows him? The hero's journey, right? I definitely think it's for the better. But we looked at some shit ass apartments out here, kind of near my job. We only look at 2 places, and my parents are just like, "Is this one good enough for you, Teddy?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, this apartment's good enough, whatever." And as I didn't pay any mind beforehand, I just packed in the car, got all my stuff. The day it was time to move out, drove with my parents and found a place, and that was it. And I'm still here, like 2 years, year and a half later, right? That whole thing. But the story's really long. I don't really care. Whatever. I mean, super small YouTube channel. Not like a bunch of people are gonna be watching this. Anyways, I get the shit ass apartment, working that job, and it was chill. Whatever. It was chill, but I stay there around 10 months or whatever. Then another company reaches out to me, offers me a job for way more money. This job was right on Michigan Avenue in the city. Great opportunity, right here in Chicago. I was definitely really excited about it. It took 4 interviews to get, and I risked it going for this job because when you're the kid without the college degree, the ADHD kid, a lot of people tell you, this is the best you'll do, man. This is the best company you'll ever get. This is the best your life will ever be. And if you're going to drop out, if you're going to take my route, I came from a town where everybody goes to college. oh, there's a stigma if you don't go to college. If you don't go, people talk, that you have that reputation. I've grown up, whatever, and you don't live for that small town vibe, whatever, all that bullshit. But I'm just warning you. You know, that's one thing you're gonna experience if you drop out. You get into any half reputable company, people are gonna tell you, this is the best you're gonna do, man. This is the best job you'll ever work. Don't mess it up. I've heard that at least 6, 7 different people, when I was working my first sales job, whatever, the IT job, you hear a lot. You hear it a lot, it's, that conversation wouldn't be the same if I was you're the college kid, you're the STEM engineering person, the IT guy going right through, bless that path, nothing wrong with that. But if you're going to take my route in life, you're going to hear that a lot. So it's definitely one thing to be aware of. Just kind of some advice while I talk about my story here. Just what's going to happen if you drop out, right? So that happened. And then, people threw some diss at me, like, oh, like, you're not selling, whatever, and all that. It's sales is cutthroat, it's the nature of the beast. But I take a chance on myself, and it takes like 4 interviews to get the good job in the city. But I get it. Youngest person that company hired by 4 years of all 4 locations. Seriously, that was a huge accomplishment from dropping out of college to wondering what I was going to do to freaking getting a great job in the city. And I get that job, I work there for like 5-6 months, and then company downsized to get rid of the whole sales department, made a ton of sweeping changes, my managers lost their job, I talked about that in a previous video, that whole thing. But watch, I'm telling you, if you drop out of college, you actually start getting some traction in life, not like everybody suspects, right, with the person who went right through. People go and wonder, how the hell did that guy do it? The people that told me I couldn't do it, those were the first people to track me down on LinkedIn. Where's that person going? The family man, all that, those are the first people, like, how does 22-year-old dropout get the good job? And I'm here, But, like, that's the mentality you're going to have if you take this path. If you kind of take my path in life. Because you're always going to be up against the grain. It's always going to be naturally more challenging. You're naturally going to have to grind harder than other people to get these opportunities. It's the reality. I see some of these YouTubers sell you on this bullshit that, like, drop out, start your own business, you just get there, it just happens. The degree isn't worth it. Obviously if you're going to major debt for the useless degree, sure, maybe that path isn't as acquainted with the dropout or whatever, but if you're the person going right through and you're going to get that career at 22, 23, and it's a damn near guarantee, it's kind of what those people leave off, I feel like they try to pipe up the path of not completing college. And, when I interviewed at that company, though, they never asked me about college. They never asked me about college one time. And that's one of the things I find fascinating being a dropout and being in sales. Very few of these interviews are asking you, where'd you get your college degree? How was university? People, sure, obviously there's like 1 or 2 interviews I've had where people on the phone get nasty with me. Oh, you didn't complete school. There's no opportunity for you here. Oh, I don't want to hire you because of that. It's like, I don't want to work for that company anyways. But, I feel like if you're going into sales and you're not having that degree, I don't know, I see all the time people say when you get to like the upper levels or whatever, it can hold you back, and maybe that's true. I've I'm not selling at the enterprise level. I don't fucking know yet. I don't know. You know? And sure, you know, people always hate, you know, and tell you, like, that degree's gonna open all these doors and all that, but I've been very surprised when I've been interviewing now. Very few people seem to care about that degree, at least when it comes to sales, you know? And I've been interviewing now for these sales jobs. I've been pretty picky, you know? I mean, if I really wanted something, I could be working right now. But it's like, this next move's pretty big in my career. So, you know, I want to be somewhere for the long haul. I want to be somewhere where I feel like, you know, I could be that grizzly veteran for 35 years with the company, whatever. But, you know, the path without the degree, it's going to be fucking hard. It is fucking hard, really. You know, I feel like everyone I knew who did it the right way, they're just set at like 25, you know? And me, I feel like I'm hustling for the rest of my life. And that's not a decision you really think about too much when you're in university. You just kind of, you know, this isn't for me, this isn't working out. But then, when you're making the money, when you're on your own, when you're seeing the realities of the world, you know, it's a little bit different. You kind of understand why the people say, just put the 4 years of work in, and you get there. And you're good. And, you know, obviously it's a decision that every individual is going to make on their own basis here. I mean, I guess it's not necessarily true, because I know countless people who live for their family. Parents tell them to do something, and it's like, they won't do anything else, but they'll just live for their parents. And that was never really me. My parents just wanted me to be happy. You know, they just, you know, I apologized to them for, like, making the bad decisions when it came to schooling and education and all that. And they're like, "Ted, we just want you to be happy, man. Like, really, like, that's kind of the whole point in life, satisfaction." And where money comes into the equation, everybody's different. Everybody has their own understanding of how much they need, how much they want. But, I mean, if you're really thinking about dropping out of college, I would say, think about what you really want in your life, as cliche as that sounds. Do you want to be working for Joe's Office Supplies? Punching in and out of the clock for 45 years? The guaranteed 70 grand, 60 grand for life? Because if that's what you want, I would advise not to drop out of college and to get that liberal arts degree. You know? And if you're the STEM person thinking of dropping out, I mean, if you're smart enough, just do the STEM route, really. I mean, that just seems to be the way to go. That's just what it is, you know? I mean, I'm not going to bullshit there. But if you're someone that's willing to live life a bit more risk-averse, take chances on yourself, bet on yourself like I did in those sales jobs or whatever, get the better opportunities. When I was young too, you know? And sure, the company downsized or whatever, but I proved to myself I could get there. I could get there. Well, the education, schooling. Like, then I recommend go for it. Really. If you're having a tough time in school, you don't like it, you're going to major debt, the degree is some liberal arts degree that's going to take you nowhere. Just drop out, and I'm not going to say just go into sales, but you got to go into a career where there's some risk, because that's where the money's going to be at if you don't have the degree. You're going to have a mentality of what you bring to the business is your value. You know, and that's why I like it. Why I like sales. The revenue you're bringing in, you're the most important person at the organization. But damn right, there's the most risk in that as well. There's always going to be a shit ton of risk in that. You know, so think about the career you want. You know, like I was saying, the Joe's Office Supplies, there's nothing wrong with that lifestyle. But that's not something I want, and I feel like I don't regret the decision as much of leaving college because I didn't want to be that person. Working at the office supply shop, 45 years, punching in and out. That warehouse dude, punching in and out. And just, that's my life. I can't have that mindset being in sales, having gotten into technology at a young age without college, having gotten that better job, stuck into people's face. It's like, I can't have that mindset. I can't have that. I'm not gonna say average, but that's everybody else. That's what everybody else is doing. The degree to punch in and punch out. I just don't have that mindset, you know. But people will shit on that and be like, "Well, you should have went to college if you have this great winner mentality." Hey, it is what it is. I'm used to people saying you can't do it. You're dumb. You're stupid. Comes with the territory in sales, right? But let's see here. Yeah, just to kind of summarize up, think about what you want. What do you want? If you want that stable office supply job, finish the liberal. Finish the liberal. I can't even say it. The liberal. The liberal arts degree. Get it done. Minimal debt. Your parents are paying for it. Just do it. Just do it. You're going to be the STEM person, smartest person in the room everywhere you go. Just do it. Do that path. Do it. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. Take that path. But if you're someone like me, you're willing to take chances in life. You're willing to bet on yourself when people tell you can't do it. You're willing to put it all on the line. You're willing to live in the shitty apartment. The shitty apartment when you're first starting out. You're willing to have that risk in your career at the beginning where if you don't sell, you're out, you know? If you're willing to live that lifestyle and instead of the 60, 70 grand, make the 160, 170 grand in a career where it's just straight up on you, you know? It's like, what do you bring to the table? How valuable are you? You know, the HR job, the accounting job, tons of people have those skills, will do it. Sure, you could get a position there, but it's like, where's the real ceiling in it? Maybe a promotion or two? If you want to be a business owner, salesperson, and those are the things I would recommend if you don't have college. Trades, of course, sure there's that 2-year degree or that whole thing, apprenticeships, all that. But I mean, I've seen that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with working that, but I don't know if I want to be working with my body when I'm a bit older, unless I could go into entrepreneurship, own my own trade company, doing it that way, you know. I think that's the route, you know, you work hard in your 20s in the trade, just learn like crazy, 30s, 40s, you're owning the company before your back breaks out, right? I mean, kind of a shallow perspective of it, but, I mean, isn't that kind of the truth in reality? So, yeah, I really just think it comes down to how risk averse are you at the end of the day. Are you willing to put it all on the line to get here without college? Because you're going to have to do that if you drop out. You know? Unless you want to be down here, and that's a shitty life. Nobody wants that. So you want to put it all on the line to get here. There's a lot of pressure. There's going to be stress. People are going to tell you you can't do it. You may doubt your decision. Constantly live with regret, whatever. Or do you want to be like everybody else and work the job where you can maybe get to here? And that's fine. That's fine. That's a comfortable living. You provide for your family. Vacation time. The wife and kids. Nothing wrong with that. Super respectable, really. There's putting food on your family's plate. Never a bad thing. Never a bad thing. But you're going to have to take chances on your career. And it's going to be scary. And a lot of people are going to tell you can't do it if you don't have that degree. More chances than the person who went right through to get to the real money, to get to where you want to be. And you're probably going to have to do work that other people are not willing to do. Not going to want to do as much. My buddies in sales, I mean, how many of my buddies are really in sales, you know? Like, that's just what it is. That's just what it is. So, yeah, that's just kind of my story dropping out, what I've been dealing with. You know, how I've been handling interviews, how people have kind of responded to me not having a college degree. I like to talk about this because I come from a town where, like I said, 95% of people go to college, get the degree, do it that way. You know, so I've always felt like it's been a bit of a, not stigma, but just something that's been like surrounding my life. I kind of want to talk about, discuss on my channel, you know, that's just who I am, that's just part of my story. But yeah, just think of what you want in life. I'd recommend if you're not that risk-averse person, if you're not willing to take chances, really bet on yourself, just do the 4-year degree, get it, and just work the regular job your whole life. And there really is nothing wrong with that. Really, everyone has their own perspective on money, the importance, how much they need. But if you have that, you know, that Grant Cardone voice in your head, right, where you feel you can do great things in life, and you go on these lectures, and you're not learning anything, it's not relevant to the real world, the hustle that it takes to succeed, I mean, I think you're better suited to be the person to drop out. And even then, you know, if I could still go back to someone get my degree, I'd like to get it, you know. I mean, just to have it, it doesn't hurt. But if you really feel like this college thing is messing with me, I don't think it's worth it. I gotta get out of here. Going into massive debt. Yo, are you that risk-averse person? Are you going to take chances in your career? Are you willing to put yourself in uncomfortable situations? Are you willing to eat shit for dinner? Seriously, you're going to have to grind in some tough-ass jobs to get to the good shit, as opposed to the person who goes right through. But there's more, I believe there's more of a chance you can make it really, really, really big in life if you take the route I'm taking in life, as opposed to the person does it like everybody else. And no right or wrongs. That's just my experience. You know, if you're gonna drop out, hit the gym every day, 6 days a week. Stay sober. You know, if you're a young guy like myself, don't worry so much about a girlfriend. I would say really focus on building yourself up, finding that career, find that passion, find that thing that keeps you going every single day in life. You know, and it's going to be fucking hard. It's going to be fucking hard if you don't have that degree. Sure, the interviews, like I said, you can get by in the interviews and stuff like that when it comes to sales and all that. But that middle path of that guarantee isn't there for you. It's either you're down here or you're up here. There's not as much of that middle type ground, I believe, when you don't have that college degree, as opposed to when you do have it. It's like you can live in that middle ground for 45 years, commit to the trappings of life, and you're good. So yeah, that's just my take on it, YouTube. That's kind of my story. Apologize if this was a choppy video here. I'm not going to edit anything out. Just put it on the line. Yeah, I just felt really inspired today. I want to post 2 videos on my channel. I don't know. You know, this is all just my experience. You know, you know, I'm an open person. I like to put my story out there. You know, if I can help anybody, you know, if I can help anybody, like I've been saying, definitely think somebody could gain some perspective on this. And yeah, I'll keep uploading for the future, and excited to see where this channel goes. Appreciate the time.